If you want to know how to make effective natural hair products that use potent Ayurvedic herbs along with nutrient-rich oils and butters that are specifically formulated for afro and textured hair, now that I can help you with. Oh, and I know someone's going to ask if these recipes work on all hair types, and don't worry, they do, you just need to be a little more creative with how you use them. But we'll get more into that in the video.
Let's begin by making a herbal oil treatment that's infused with Ayurvedic hair revitalizing properties. I'll then show you how to use this herbal oil to make 2 other Ayurvedic hair products. Ayurvedic herbs can improve things like growth, thickness, shedding, and the appearance of your hair. It's part of the Indian practice of Ayurveda that uses natural therapeutic properties to manage the body's health. In either a mason jar or any other type of sealable glass container, add 18 grams of marshmallow root. Marshmallow root helps with conditioning and detangling your hair. Its dried form looks like soft pieces of bark. Next, for its hair growth and strengthening abilities, I'm using neem leaves. The neem tree is a popular medicinal plant with antifungal and antibacterial properties, which helps maintain a healthy scalp. Both the fruit and the seeds can also be used in Ayurvedic hair care, but for this formula, I'm using the leaves. These weird-looking rocks are actually the dried fruit of the amla plant. Amla, or Indian gooseberries, are rich in vitamins and amino acids that increase circulation to the scalp and strengthen hair follicles. Fenugreek seeds are an essential ingredient in Ayurvedic hair care, with some of their most notable benefits being related to hair growth and reducing shedding. These bright yellow seeds are rich in protein, vitamins, and lipids. Up next, we have the beautiful red petals of the hibiscus plant. Not only do they help produce keratin, one of the essential building blocks of hair, but it's also known for restoring elasticity to strands and stimulating new hair growth. The final component of making Ayurvedic hair oil is the oil. I'm using fractionated coconut oil, as its colourless appearance will help show the natural hue of Ayurvedic herbs. But you can use any other carrier oil that your hair loves, although I would recommend using a light, heat-stable oil with a long shelf life. To your herbs, pour in 210 grams of your oil of choice, making sure that all the herbs are completely covered. You can mix and match Ayurvedic herbs depending on the areas of your hair you'd like to target. But as a start, this combination of Ayurvedic herbs makes a phenomenal growth-stimulating hair oil. Allow the oil to infuse for several weeks, ideally in a place with access to sunlight.
So now that the oil has had a chance to infuse and soak up all of that Ayurvedic goodness, it's time to strain it. You don't actually want to store any sort of infused oil with the herbs in it, because those herbs can actually cause the oil to go off faster. This is just a basic metal strainer. It will get the larger herbs out, but you'll also need to use something like a coffee filter or a cheesecloth to make sure that you get all of the small particles. So the setup looks a bit over the top, but I've just found it to be a really easy way to strain all the oil without having to deal with the cleanup. If you're not someone who wants to deal with a lot of cleanup, this way the muslin kind of catches all of the stray bits of herbs and the oil comes out completely clean, and I just use a spatula to press down the herbs to make sure that we get as much of that good oil as possible. All done. So this is the oil that I'll be using to make an Ayurvedic hair butter as well as an Ayurvedic hair cream later in this video. Even though the oil started off clear, you can see it now has this beautiful golden green color, which is a good sign that it's been infused. But the best part is you can use this Ayurvedic oil by itself. You can? How do you do that? I'm so glad you asked. At WholeElise.com, I've listed the benefits of each herb that I use, along with how you can incorporate Ayurvedic hair products into your routine. Click the link in the description box below for more information.
Up next, we have this ultra-rich, hair-repairing Ayurvedic butter. To start, we'll need 86 grams of Mathura butter. Mathura butter is an incredibly soft African butter that's fast-absorbing, easy to spread, and great for detangling hair. It can melt at just 20 degrees Celsius, or 68 degrees Fahrenheit for my American friends, making it perfect for massaging into your hair and scalp. Its low melting point creates a hair butter that stays soft, To the Mafura butter, I'm also using cocoa butter, which is a hard butter similar to cocoa butter, but it's far less greasy, so it won't weigh your hair down. I'm also adding in cetearyl alcohol that adds both slip and thickness. If you're new to making body butters and you'd like to know more about these ingredients, check out my previous video that walks you through how to make different types of body butter. It's linked in the description box below. I'm adding in a little safflower oil to keep the butter light. And we can't forget about our star ingredient, 60 grams of nourishing Ayurvedic hair oil. This is why I'd recommend using a stable base oil to infuse, like sunflower or almond oil, that can withstand heat. And that way you can use the Ayurveda oil in formulas to make other herbal products, like this hair butter and in my next recipe. Once you've combined all of your ingredients in a heat-proof container, we can move on to melting. As always, use either a bain-marie or double boiler method to ensure the butter is gently melted, stirring occasionally to prevent hot spots. Once it's done, allow the mixture to cool to room temperature until moving to the refrigerator. To get the best results, the butter needs to be completely solid through, so check the center to make sure it's not still liquid. Take an electric whisk and start by whipping the butter until it's aerated and light in color. This will take several minutes, but it's important to creating a soft final texture that won't harden over time. Due to the Mafura butter, you might need to routinely refrigerate to prevent the butter from melting if you're working in an especially hot environment. Once the butter is whipped, it should be light and pillowy. You can then move on to adding in antioxidants and any essential oils you'd like for fragrance. This recipe doesn't require a preservative as it doesn't contain water. But oils and butters can oxidate over time, and therefore adding in vitamin E oil or another antioxidant helps prevent it from going rancid. Give it one final whisk to ensure everything is thoroughly combined. Even though this herbal hair butter is thick enough to pipe into a container, it's much softer than a traditional body butter, which helps make it such a great butter for your hair.
I wouldn't even call this a butter. The texture is more like a souffle. It's so light, you could probably get away with using this on your scalp, which is amazing because then you would get all of that growth stimulating and anti-dandruff properties of the Ayurvedic oil. But the real secret here is that light Mafura butter. It just melts so effortlessly into your hair, making this butter great for detangling and styling. And if you do have straight, fine or thin hair, then I would recommend using this as a rinse-off treatment rather than a moisturizer. This would work amazingly as an overnight treatment or a hair mask, and that way you get all of the benefits of using this Ayurvedic hair butter, but you don't need to worry about this weighing your hair down.
So after making an amazing Ayurvedic oil and an ultra moisturizing hair butter, I'm saving the best for last with this intensive herbal hair cream. This is a lighter cream, but still nourishing enough to keep your hair hydrated and moisturized. To make this Ayurvedic hair cream, start by measuring out our water phase ingredients. I'm using 106 grams of distilled water, and for an added boost, I'm using aloe vera juice, but you could also use floral water instead. To that, we'll need 4 grams of glycerin. You could also use honey if you prefer. Mix together and let's move on to our oil phase ingredients. To the Mafura butter, we'll need 10 grams of an emulsifying wax. The difference between the previous hair butter and this hair cream is the presence of water and other hydrating ingredients. To allow the water and oil to mix together, we'll need to use an emulsifier. Here I'm using emulsifying wax NF, but you can substitute this with another emulsifying wax. I'm also adding in cetearyl alcohol for its detangling properties, but it also works as a thickener and stabilizer. Then add in our Ayurvedic hair oil to complete the oil phase. Like before, gently melt your oil and water ingredients in separate heat-proof containers. It takes a little longer for the emulsifying wax and cetearyl alcohol to melt, so I'd routinely stir to speed up the process. Once both phases are liquid but still hot, pour your oil phase into the water phase. Immediately follow this up by using an immersion blender to start emulsifying your hair cream. Immersion blenders are able to thoroughly mix your cream without incorporating too much air, so they're the best choice to use when making creams and lotions. Once the mixture has turned creamy white and there's no separation between the oil and water, it'll start to thicken as it cools. At this stage, it's still quite thin, but it will start to resemble a cream once the temperature has lowered. Routinely mix the cream so that it cools evenly and doesn't form lumps. I find it easier to mix with a hand whisk until it gets thicker. Once the cream has cooled to room temperature, it's time to add the most important part. That's right, it's preservative time. You can use any broad spectrum preservative. I'm using Optifen, and like before, vitamin E for my antioxidant. And don't forget to add in a couple essential oils to give your Ayurvedic hair cream a really nice fragrance.
You know when something just works on every single level? That is this hair cream. While the Ayurvedic butter and oil is great for sealing your hair, it's this hair cream that really softens and conditions your hair because it's able to penetrate into the hair shaft. And that is what makes it such a great moisturizer. This is what we want, quality hair products with multiple uses. And now you can make it yourself.